Stick with me. You are about to see the ultimate breakup, starting with her realizing my engagement ring was completely gone. She lost it completely, screaming, "Where is your engagement ring?" I just swatted her hand away and fired back, "Well, where is yours?" Her face turned a spectacular shade of pale, then totally green. Suddenly, she dashed straight into the bedroom, frantically tearing the place completely apart. I just stood there quietly watching her lose her mind. I thought it would be a miracle if you actually found it. A month ago, her precious childhood best friend texted me its picture. As for my ring, that guy had secretly taken it away a long time ago too. The root of all this drama, right before our engagement party, my fiancé's childhood sweetheart made a wild bet with me. 7 times. He bet that my fiancé would simply abandon me and leave our huge engagement party. Thinking back on all those anniversaries and birthdays where Serafina completely ghosted me, I took the bet. Only this time, the stakes were my broken heart. Every single time she ditched me for her so-called bestie, I sent Serafina a number. She once asked what I meant when I joked, "Every time you hurt me, I keep a tally." When it hits 100, the guy who loved you will vanish and I won't need you. When she received 99, she didn't care. When she hit 100, she still did not care. That is until the day of our engagement party. Now watch closely. One single call from her childhood friend and she canceled everything. My 7 years of love just instantly vanished forever. She clearly knew that abandoning me at our engagement party would strip away my dignity completely, turning me into a massive, absolute joke. Even though I lowered myself to beg her, Serafina just coldly dropped one single sentence. "The engagement is totally off," and she left. The moment she walked out, Quinn texted me, "I win." A bitter smile hung on my lips. I spent 7 years loving her, trying to warm her icy heart, only to become the ultimate clown. With just one simple call from Quinn, Serafina would easily toss me aside at any moment. Whether it was my birthday, our special anniversary, or a long-planned romantic date. And now even at our huge engagement party, Serafina did not hesitate to throw me under the bus. A colossal pain completely surrounded me. But at the exact same time, I felt overwhelming relief. I stubbornly held on to this toxic love for 7 whole years. For 7 whole years, I swallowed every grievance and endured her icy indifference. Honestly, I had reached my absolute breaking point long ago. You and I know this party was her final test. And guess what? She totally failed it. I took a deep breath, opened my chat with Serafina, and sent one final message. "Let us break up." Instantly blocked her the second it sent, grabbed my suitcase heading for the elevator. Behind me, a mocking laugh echoed. It was a sound I had despised for 7 straight years. It was Serafina's cousin Veronica. The person she worshipped most in the world was her goddess cousin Serafina. In Veronica's eyes, Serafina deserved the absolute best man, not some country bumpkin like me. Because of this, she picked fights with me countless times over the years. She strutted over to me, looking incredibly smug. "Oh, the engagement is off. How perfectly humiliating. Were you trying to sneak away quietly? Do not worry. How could I possibly let you leave that easily?" She clapped her hands. "Everyone come out here!" Instantly, 6 of her delinquent friends rushed out in unison. They aimed their phone cameras right at my face, fully ready to record my humiliation. Veronica's lips curled into a venomous smirk. "Thomas getting dumped feels amazing, right?" The others were all laughing, their eyes completely dripping with pure mockery. My heart felt completely numb. I crossed my arms, looking directly at Veronica with a half smile. "How does it feel?" "Well, it is not pleasant, but I imagine no matter how awful it is, it does not compare to being an illegitimate child like you." The noisy atmosphere instantly froze solid. Veronica's face turned completely ash white. Sure, she was Serafina's cousin, but they shared zero relation because she was an illegitimate child born from her mother's extremely scandalous affair. That was Veronica's deepest, most humiliating wound. She went completely ballistic. "You are begging for it!" she screamed, raising her hand high, aiming a vicious slap at my face. I was not about to play nice. I casually dodged to the side and delivered a swift, powerful kick right into her stomach. Veronica stumbled back a few steps and collapsed onto the floor. She looked at me in absolute disbelief. "You dare hit me? Are you not afraid I will tell my sister?" I glared coldly. "Grow up, you giant toddler! I only tolerated you before to save Serafina's face. Now that I do not want Serafina, do you think I need to tolerate you? I did not bother wasting another single breath. That is where we leave it." I grabbed my suitcase while she screeched like crazy. "Let's jump into this. If you are so tough, never return. Do not come crawling back begging my sister to help you. I completely froze. Seeing my reaction, pure disgust washed over Veronica's face. She thought I was already regretting everything. You pathetic little lapdog. If you do not want me telling my sister, get on your knees and lick my shoes right now. I might just let you off the hook. A cool smirk appeared on my face. I stared straight at Veronica's friend, who was filming everything on her phone. I looked calmly into the camera. I, Thomas, am totally done with Serafina. In this lifetime, I will never marry her. The very next morning, Serafina finally arrived at the villa. She collapsed onto the sofa, massaging her temples. Her icy expression showed clear exhaustion. Thomas, come and rub my head right now. After she ordered that, absolutely nothing happened. In the past, the second she arrived, I would have happily rushed over, asked about her long day, rubbed her tense shoulders, and tried to make her smile. But today, the massive luxury villa felt freezing. There was zero sign of me. Only Auntie Martha stood awkwardly near the kitchen, speaking up very nervously. Mr. Thomas has not returned since yesterday. A quick flash of annoyance crossed Serafina's face. Here is where it gets interesting. She thought I was throwing a tantrum, opened our chat, and saw my breakup text. Serafina let out a cold laugh of pure annoyance. She grabbed her phone and messaged her secretary. Lucy, book a flight to the United States right now for the conference. Auntie Martha just could not hold back and stepped forward. Mr. Thomas stayed out all night. Are you not worried an engagement is a massive deal and you just canceled it just like that? Serafina obviously caught the deep meaning behind Auntie Martha's words. Her lips twitched slightly. I do not have time to baby him. Dropping that cold line she left. That business trip to the United States would take a week, giving me time to cool off. By then, surely I would just obediently come crawling right back. Meanwhile, I hopped on a plane straight back to Tuangfen. Walking into my cozy little Western-style house, I felt a warm sense of belonging, a feeling I truly missed during 7 years in the capital. Right as I was unlocking my door, the neighbor's door suddenly swung wide open and a panicked figure rushed outside. Recognizing her instantly, I cheerfully called out Bianca. Her heart was racing with pure panic. Hearing a totally familiar voice, she snapped her head around in shock. She saw me standing there, smiling brightly. Thomas, you returned. I chuckled so softly. Yes, Bianca, I am back. She literally watched me grow up, the sweet girl next door who felt just like a big sister to me. We always shared an amazing bond. It is just that lately I was trapped in the big city, constantly chasing after Serafina. Having zero chances to visit Bianca froze for a second before absolute joy sparked in her wide eyes. You won't believe this next part. She sprinted over. Thomas, you must help me. What is it? Marry me. I instinctively jumped a huge step back. This was totally absurd. Bianca frantically explained, her voice completely breaking. Arthur got into a terrible accident over in the Czech Republic. He left a precious child behind. I must go get the baby. But their strict policy demands I be married to adopt the child. I truly have zero other options right now. Thomas, please help me get a marriage certificate. The second I return, we can get a divorce right away. Bianca simply could not care about anything else right now. My heart ached, sensing something terrible happened. My voice shook. Brother Arthur, how is he? A single tear dropped from Bianca's eye. He is gone. My footsteps froze. Growing up, Brother Arthur protected me so many times. He was a gentle but incredibly strong older brother. I never imagined this tragic outcome. His only remaining flesh and blood was in a dangerous spot. We absolutely had to bring that innocent child home safely. I replied instantly, Bianca, wait right here. I will grab my ID and go register with you. Getting married is actually super easy. A man and a woman visit the Civil Affairs Bureau, snap a quick photo. Notarize the paperwork, say, the vows, stamp a bright red seal, and boom, marriage certificate secured. Bianca hugged the certificate tightly, thanked me endlessly, and rushed to the airport. Time was running out insanely fast. Every ticking second meant the little child faced more extreme danger. 1 full week vanished. Serafina arrived back from the United States in her luxury car, checking her watch. It was perfectly dinner time. She looked at her executive assistant, Lucy. Contact Thomas. Tell him to meet me at Starlight Restaurant for dinner. Yes. Right away, Lucy answered with respect, pulling out her phone to call me. Nobody picked up. She frowned and reported Miss Serafina. Mr. Thomas is not answering. Serafina furrowed her brows. In her hands, she clutched a stunning jewelry box, holding a premium luxury watch she won at a United States auction. So what do we make of this? She admitted fault for ruining the engagement party and wanted to show sincerity. But since I ignored her, she was getting incredibly mad. "Stick with me here," she snapped, the box shut expression freezing cold. "Return to the villa." The luxurious Maybach finally rolled up to the gates. Serafina stepped out looking absolutely icy. Maids rushed around doing chores. Serafina marched right up to Auntie Martha in the busy kitchen. "Where exactly is Thomas?" Pure worry flashed across Auntie Martha's face. "Mr. Thomas has not returned even once since that day. I have called endlessly, but zero answers. Miss, I am honestly scared Mr. Thomas might do something really foolish." Serafina frowned hard, but her voice stayed completely flat. He would not. He was always my bright little sunshine boy, super optimistic and deeply positive. A guy like him would never even consider doing something crazy. Maybe breaking the engagement actually made him mad this time. Sighing, Serafina grabbed her phone, shooting off a quick text. "Just come back. I will make it up to you with a massive engagement party." Message sent. But wait, a glaring red exclamation mark popped up. I totally blocked her. Serafina actually laughed out of pure, unadulterated anger. I threw little tantrums in the past, sure, but I never once blocked her. Now pay attention here. She felt zero crisis, just thought my reaction was utterly ridiculous. She immediately turned to Lucy waiting by the door. "Track down exactly where Thomas went." Lucy quickly delivered. Mr. Thomas actually returned to his hometown in Tuong Than. Annoyed amusement flashed across Serafina's face. What kind of stunt was I pulling, running straight back to the dusty countryside? "Go drag him back here," she ordered Lucy. Meanwhile, I was absolutely living my best life down in Tuong Than. The old courtyard was a total mess, so I hired a crew for renovations. Then I planted my absolute favorite flowers, gorgeous camellias. I even cleared some dirt for chili peppers. In one short week, my garden totally transformed. Lately, I was also busy hunting down the perfect storefront right here in Tuong Than. I planned to open a flower shop. While watering the yard, a sudden knock hit the door. Thinking it was just my fertilizer delivery, I swung the door wide open. But nope, standing there in full corporate gear was Lucy. My mouth twitched. I instantly tried slamming the door shut, but Lucy shoved her hand right out to block my escape. "Mr. Thomas, Miss Serafina sent me to drag you back." Unable to close it, I gave up. Crossing my arms, I smirked. "Get on your knees and beg. Maybe then I will return." A rare crack of anger broke Lucy's stoic face. "Mr. Thomas, you need to understand something. The relationship between you and Miss Serafina has literally never been on equal footing. Sending me to fetch you gives you major face. Keep throwing this childish tantrum and you will honestly only end up hurting yourself. Know your place." I raised a single eyebrow, staring back at her leisurely. "You and I both know Lucy being here means Serafina actually swallowed her pride. A total first in 7 years, but did I even care?" I glared coldly. "I know my place perfectly, which is exactly why I walked away from Serafina forever. I hope Assistant Lucy knows hers too. Leave my property right now or do not blame me when I release the dogs on you." Lucy's eyes turned icy, completely filled with arrogant contempt. "Playing hard to get, Thomas? You think you are so brilliant pulling this cheap stunt? You really think Serafina cares? If she actually cared, she never would have casually canceled that engagement. So drop the act. Do not push your luck." My fists clenched tight, heart aching with suffocating pain. That canceled engagement completely crushed my remaining dignity. Bluntly speaking, I willingly lowered myself. Acting like a desperate fool, I put myself in such a pathetic spot that Serafina's entire circle felt they never had to respect me. Giving a soft chuckle, I pointed toward the second floor. "Look up there. What exactly is that?" Lucy glanced up. Seeing the security camera right there, her pupils instantly shrank. Crossing my arms, I flashed a deeply sarcastic smile. "Tell me if I send Serafina this video of you begging so humiliatingly or just post it online, what do you think happens next? You are literally nothing but a high-priced lapdog that Serafina pays to keep fed. Who gave you the guts to act like the boss? I will say this once. Serafina and I are done. Get out of my face right now and I will pretend you never visited. Otherwise, the entire internet will see your pathetic true colors." Lucy's face flushed with sheer rage. Glaring at the camera, she gritted her teeth, spitting out absolutely venomous words. "You better walk the talk. Do not ever come crawling back to Serafina. You really need to know your pathetic place. You could never compare to Mr. Quinn. You do not deserve Serafina." With that, she turned. I followed her outside. A wicked smile played on my lips. Careful not to fall flat on your face. The second I spoke, Lucy tripped. "See, we both love instant karma." She face-planted into the dirt, totally ungraceful. I simply covered my face. That drop looked absolutely brutal. When she finally looked up, her face was already completely black and blue. She glared at me with pure venom. "You jinx!" Then, holding her battered face, she slowly limped off. "Stick with me here. You and I are watching my epic childhood jinxing power finally make a massive comeback. It is on. Back when I first hit the capital, I was totally fearless, afraid of absolutely nothing. But my ex, Serafina, completely hated it. She constantly scolded my jinxing. Slowly, I completely lost my confidence, started hating myself, and my crazy abilities just totally disappeared. I honestly never expected a sudden reboot. Feeling awesome. I turned around, went right back to my courtyard, and happily got back to gardening. They could not reach me anyway. I literally threw my phone into the city moat the day I bounced. Meanwhile, a heavily bruised Lucy dragged herself right into her car and dialed up Serafina. "Miss Serafina, Mr. Thomas refuses to return." Heavy silence completely took over the call for a really long time. Lucy nervously added, "Mrs. Serafina, if Mr. Thomas really does not want to come back, then perhaps." Serafina's freezing voice sliced right through the speaker. "Find a way to bring him back. Beg him if you must." She instantly hung up, leaving a completely pale Lucy stunned in her car. Gripping her phone, she took a massive breath. Shortly after, another loud knock hit my front door. I actually thought my fresh soil delivery finally arrived. Instead, I opened the door to see Lucy's crazy, swollen, and heavily bruised face again. Super annoyed, I asked, "Why haven't you crawled off yet?" Absolutely boiling with internal rage. Lucy actually bowed incredibly deeply right before me. "Mr. Thomas, my attitude earlier was totally unacceptable. Please be the bigger person and do not stoop to my petty level. Miss Serafina truly cares. She is waiting in the capital. Please return with me." I was totally stunned hearing that from her. "You and I both know how crazy this is." Serafina actually made Lucy beg. Looks like she really could not let me go. Too bad I am entirely over her. I slammed the door shut, completely ignoring her. But Lucy stuck to my door like a giant leech. Realizing I couldn't shake her, I grabbed my gear, snuck out the back door, and went on a totally random trip. Lucy literally stood guard all day long. When she noticed I hadn't stepped out once, she finally realized something was seriously wrong inside. A massive headache hit hard. She finally realized things were completely spiraling out of control. Right then, Serafina called. Lucy immediately answered. "Miss Serafina, did you manage to bring him back?" Serafina demanded with an icy tone. Lucy swallowed hard. "No, Mr. Thomas secretly bought a ticket to Vanthan." Serafina instantly hung up. Her gorgeous face turned completely freezing cold with anger. She grabbed my number and dialed fast, but it just rang endlessly until dropping the call completely. I still was not answering. Serafina stared blankly at her dark screen, totally emotionless. Then she called her other assistant, Luke. "Go investigate Thomas and his whereabouts in Vanthan. Book the absolute earliest flight. I will collect him myself." On the other end, Luke paused for a second before instantly replying, "Yes, ma'am." Meanwhile, I was currently planning an epic road trip along the gorgeous scenic routes of Vanthan. I planned to spend a solid month or two just exploring. Pay attention now, because you and I are about to watch my peaceful mountain getaway get completely shattered. After an absolutely awesome day, it was around 9 p.m. when I finally got back to my homestay. Opening the living room door, I immediately spotted a very familiar figure just sitting there. I reflexively rubbed my eyes, staring in pure shock. "Serafina, why are you here?" She was holding her phone, aggressively dialing a number. Looking up, her freezing gaze locked right onto me, just standing in the doorway. "Why didn't your phone ring?" I froze for a second, then smirked. Tossed the old number away. Serafina nodded once, putting her device down. "I will buy you a new one when we get back home. Pack your things up. You are coming with me." My lips twitched into a smirk as I instinctively took a big step back. "Serafina, we already broke up." She frowned deeply. "Just because I canceled the engagement party. You are holding a grudge this long." I pursed my lips, staying completely silent. She took a long stride right toward me and sighed. "I will make it up to you with an even grander engagement party. Stop being mad." "Okay, look, I even came all the way out here to find you." I literally laughed out loud. "So I should be grateful. Thank you for your high and mighty charity, Serafina. I do not need your handouts, and I do not need you. We are done." Hearing me bring up breaking up again, her patience vanished. Her beautiful face instantly turned freezing cold. "Break up? Could you even bear to—" Her tone was laced with heavy arrogance and disdain. Those words felt exactly like a massive knife plunging straight into my chest. Taking a very deep breath, I looked up at her, my eyes entirely resolute. "Watch me." Pointing right toward the door, I said, "Now please leave." That intensely calm, icy look in my eyes made Serafina's proud brows visibly twitch. "So, what do you and I take from this? For 7 years, I was her warm sun. But now that freezing gaze just showed her she is looking at a complete stranger. We are totally done. Stick with me here." Her stomach suddenly cramped in deep pain, rubbing her aching temples. "Thomas, stop throwing this little tantrum. You know I am incredibly busy and lack time to coddle you. Just be a good boy." Her exhaustion was completely real. She took a red-eye flight to arrive past 10 a.m., not sleeping a single wink, just sitting there endlessly waiting for me. She was showing pure vulnerability. I should have been satisfied, taken the out, and returned. Instead, I took a few steps backward, staring at her with eyes completely empty of love. "Serafina, I do not need your comfort. You never cared before, and I refuse it now. We are totally finished." I turned to leave. "If you stay, then I will go." As I turned my back, a heavy thud echoed. Startled, I spun around. Serafina had completely collapsed. Right on cue, Luke rushed past me, immediately crouching down beside her. "Miss Serafina, are you okay?" Luke looked totally panicked. He yelled that she took a red-eye flight just to find me. "She has not drank water since yesterday." "Mr. Thomas, you are just so unbelievably cold." I calmly grabbed my phone, dialed emergency services, quickly explained the situation, and hung up. I simply called an ambulance. "That is not exactly cold, right?" With that, I walked away. Luke stared at my back in shock. "You are not coming to the hospital. I never broke my stride. I am no doctor. What good would my presence do?" Severe pain made Serafina curl up. Through blurry eyes, she saw me walking away. Running into her was honestly a totally annoying buzzkill. "You are going to love this move." I lost all mood for Vanthan, immediately grabbing a cab to Hothan. Absolutely nobody was ruining my trip's vibe today. Meanwhile, Serafina received an intravenous drip at the hospital. Her pale face finally regained a little color. Luke brought some porridge. He said the doctor wanted her to eat warm food for her stomach. Half lying on the bed, she slowly opened her eyes, taking the bowl from Luke's hands and opening it up. Just basic millet porridge. It did not smell particularly amazing, and it looked completely unappetizing too. Every single time she had stomach issues before, I was the one taking care of her. My porridge was always sweet, fragrant, and beautiful. Closing her eyes, she kept seeing my image, just walking away without a single glance back. She never saw me this cold. Forcing down a bite, she asked where he went. Luke answered slowly. "He left for Hothan." Serafina paused completely, then let out a soft chuckle. "He runs fast." Luke hesitated before speaking up. "Miss Serafina, Mr. Thomas is clearly just playing hard to get for attention. If you indulge him." Her eyes snapped up, filled with total glacial frost. "Assistant Luke, since when is it your turn to lecture me about my personal life?" Luke jumped hastily, bowing in apology. "I am sorry I overstepped." "Get out," she ordered coldly. Pale-faced Luke retreated. His expression turned ugly as resentment boiled in his heart. "You and I saw this coming, right?" Luke called Mr. Quinn. Meanwhile, Serafina finished eating and rested. Suddenly, Quinn's name flashed. She answered, and his super weak voice filtered right through. "Where are you? My chest hurts immensely." She calmly replied, "I am in Vanthan. If your chest hurts, let Holly examine it." "Take care." He pressed on, asking if she could visit tomorrow because he needed her. Serafina stayed silent. "I am afraid I cannot." Facing clear rejection, the line went quiet. "Why visit Vanthan?" She did not hide it. "Thomas is here." Quinn sounded entirely guilty. "Did you cancel the engagement party because I had an episode and called? Is that why Thomas is so mad?" "It is my fault. I will explain it to him." Serafina frowned. "It has nothing to do with you. That was my choice. He is mad at me. He needs no apology. Just focus on taking care of yourself." Suddenly, a choked sob echoed. "How is it not my fault? Forgetting your engagement with Thomas was terrible. If I never called." Serafina felt a headache brewing, but facing Quinn, she patiently coaxed him. "Do not overthink it. It is not your fault." Suddenly, Dr. Holly's frantic voice erupted. "Quinn, what is wrong?" Serafina's heart tightened. Dr. Holly grabbed the phone. "Serafina." Quinn felt so agitated he fainted. Serafina knit her beautiful brows tightly. "His constitution is very weak. Please take care of him. I cannot leave now." Dr. Holly's voice suddenly grew agitated. "That is where we leave it. Holly thinks Thomas is throwing a tantrum and will come running back. You and I know better, right? Let's dive right into this dramatic mess. Holly actually tells her to put Quinn first. Serafina is completely exhausted by this. To everyone else, she's just making a scene. Do they seriously think she's just some annoying troublemaker? But from her perspective, she had always been perfectly understanding, obedient, and incredibly gentle. After all these years, didn't she put so much effort into this? She always kept things completely peaceful. Suddenly, her voice turns freezing cold. Holly, I can't put Quinn first for the rest of my life. One day I need to get married and have my own kids. My husband and kids will absolutely be my top priority. As for staying by Quinn's side, hey, you are the doctor here. You can take care of him way better than I ever could. And boom, she hangs up. Back in the hospital room, Quinn literally overhears every single word. Every last bit of color completely drains from his face. Dr. Holly is absolutely stunned, she would say that. She immediately starts comforting him. Hey, Quinn, seriously, do not overthink this. You are still the #1 guy in Serafina's heart. It's just that Thomas is super mad. She's just giving him an easy way out. Under the sheets, Quinn clenches his fists, a dark, vicious look flashing right in his eyes. Meanwhile, for me, I was busy visiting tons of flower shops, gathering business cards left and right. Once my new shop opens, I'll definitely use them as suppliers. I was so wrapped up I totally lost track of time. The internet hyped up this incredibly famous steakhouse in Hothan. You literally have to enter an online lottery just to get a table. Only the luckiest people actually get to eat there. So before getting to Hothan, I entered that crazy lottery. I just got a text I won a 7 p.m. reservation. See, leaving a toxic relationship does absolute wonders for your luck. Later that evening, I casually stroll up to the fancy steakhouse. I show them my reservation. Number 9. The waiter instantly becomes super respectful. Right this way, Mr. Thomas. They guide me to a private dining room door. I am honestly pretty surprised. I'm just eating by myself. Why would I need a private room? Now pay attention because this gets crazy. I step inside, see who's waiting, and try leaving, but the door is firmly shut. It won't even open. I just laugh from pure frustration. Turning around, I cross my arms and coldly glare right at Serafina sitting there looking so high and mighty. What is the actual meaning of this? She points to the chair next to her. Wanted steak. Just sit down. I throw my hands up. Look, I don't share tables with my ex. Honestly, it just makes me feel totally nauseous. Serafina's face stays totally icy, zero emotion. I never agreed to a breakup. I just chuckle. A breakup only needs one person to agree. She stands up, voice getting slightly softer. Canceling our engagement was a really bad move. Making you suffer was totally my fault. It won't ever happen again. I will make it up to you with a much grander party. I instantly throw my hands up, forming an X. Stop, we are completely broken up. There will be no more engagement parties. You feel that? Perfect comeback. You two are a heavenly match, and I'm just the third wheel. Since we're done, consider that engagement party a nice little gift for him. Please just tie the knot and seriously stop bothering me, all right? Serafina looks totally helpless now. I've told you this a million times, Quinn is honestly just a younger brother. I literally have zero romantic feelings for him. Why won't you just believe me? I forcefully rub my forehead. When it involves Quinn, talking to Serafina is literally impossible. I just flat out shrug. Whatever you two have going on is purely your business. It means nothing to me anymore. Serafina, we are completely done, so I really hope we can stop dragging this drama out. Serafina sneers back so coldly. Am I the one dragging this out over 7 years who was actually dragging who down? My heart completely drops. Memories from the last 7 years flood my mind, and I really just want to slap myself across the face so hard. Realizing she really messed up, Serafina quickly tries fixing her harsh words. I look straight into her eyes, totally unfazed. Hey, you are right. For the past 7 years, I was definitely dragging you down. I admit it, I'll swallow that bitter pill, but I am finally done. I am letting go, Serafina. Her expression turns totally freezing cold. You call 7 years a bitter pill? Honestly, I do not want to argue anymore. I tap lightly on this door, signaling for her to open it up. Serafina aggressively swallows her rising lump of anger. She really didn't want to keep spinning in circles about this breakup either. Deep down, she knows she is wrong here. Throwing a fit is normal, but taking things this far felt totally unnecessary to her. She points coldly at the table. Just sit down and eat. I know her game too perfectly. It was always like this before. If she acts freezing cold and ignores me, I'd magically cool off and everything would just return to normal. So what do you and I take from this? Old me would panic, but but new me. I'm finally seeing her true colors. Classic Serafina using the silent treatment. Stick with me, we're about to watch me finally end 7 years of absolute toxic silence. I simply smiled and pointed outside. Fall. The second that single word left my lips, a massive, deafening crash echoed from the door. Every single screw popped right off, scattering everywhere. Then bam, the entire heavy door completely collapsed outward with a massive, earth-shattering bang. Serafina was totally stunned. My legendary jinxing power was officially back. She knew everything about my cursed words. She used to find it cute, but eventually she hated it, always scolding me for talking absolute nonsense. I just smirked, watching her with freezing cold amusement. Exactly. My crazy superpower is fully back, so you'd better just break up with me and stop lingering. Otherwise, your precious little brother Quinn might catch some serious bad luck. You know exactly how overpowered my curses are. She actually traveled all this way just to find me mostly acting out of guilt over that engagement. But now I was totally weaponizing her biggest weakness. I knew she couldn't stay stubborn forever. After all, Quinn was her one absolute bottom line. I glanced over, and sure enough, pure fiery anger was sparking right in her eyes. I coldly smirked inside. So Quinn really is still number one in her heart. I turned to walk away, but suddenly my wrist was grabbed tight right at the door. I frowned hard and yelled, "Serafina, what are you doing? Let me go!" Her freezing expression never changed while dragging me outside. "Don't move." She violently shoved me inside her car, instantly locking every single door tight. "Now watch closely, things get absolutely wild here." I glared, demanding answers, but she ignored me, ordering the driver away. The engine roared instantly. Pure anger completely suffocated me. We just sat there on opposite sides, totally silent. Serafina's long, elegant fingers curled up slightly. If this was the past and she was mad, I would have already been desperately chattering away, trying to coax her, cracking silly jokes, forcing any random topic to make her smile until she forgave me. The car sped straight to the airport. For a whole hour and a half, neither of us spoke. I kept absolutely quiet, just closing my eyes to rest. She only found me this incredibly fast, thanks to the two groups' massive, overpowered data network. As long as I passed any cameras or used my ID, she could instantly pinpoint my exact real-time location. She even chartered a whole private jet, forcefully dragging me aboard. The ultra-luxurious plane had 2 personal flight attendants just for us. I didn't even bother looking around. I literally just marched straight over to the plane's bed and laid down. Over the past 7 years, I had drained way too much emotional energy. I wasn't going to torture myself fighting back anymore. I figured I might as well just follow her straight back to the capital for now. Seeing me just crash and close my eyes, her internal anger completely flared up. But she swallowed it, leaving a helpless little smile on her lips. She quickly waved both flight attendants away to the staff cabin. Then she laid down too, her soft hand suddenly sliding right under my shirt. I reflexively shoved her away hard. She glared, her face instantly darkening. Back then, who exactly drugged me and climbed right into my bed? Honestly, isn't this exactly what you always wanted? Her bringing this up instantly ignited my long-suppressed anger. I snapped, "Serafina, I really liked you back then, but I still had some damn self-respect. I would never stoop low enough to drug someone. Do you actually think you're that precious? Am I really that desperate for you? Do you have any idea how terrible you are in bed? You're literally a log. This massive misunderstanding happened 3 whole years ago. I know what you're thinking, but listen. We attended a banquet together. I poured her wine, totally clueless it was spiked. She started burning up, her entire vibe changing. She dragged me into a room, silencing me completely. That was my actual first night with Serafina. At the time, I was absolutely thrilled. But the next day, Veronica pointed right at my face, screaming that I cheaply drugged her cousin, calling me absolute human trash. I was completely stunned. Everyone started whispering I was so desperate for Serafina I'd use the most underhanded, despicable tactics ever, like literally drugging her drink. I felt so insanely wronged and panicked, I just wanted to quickly explain to Serafina that I was innocent, that I had zero clue about the drug in her glass. She just gave me this totally reassuring smile and confidently told me she knew it wasn't me. I actually thought she believed me, but looking back now, she never believed me for a single second. Suddenly, her face turned ugly. "What did you just say?" I sharply sneered back. "You didn't honestly think I eagerly counted down to the 1st and 15th of every month, did you? Did you truly not notice how super reluctant I was?" Serafina was fiercely busy living by extremely strict, unbending rules for her life. Even our physical intimacy was strictly scheduled for only the 1st and 15th every month. If she had a business trip or her period, it got totally postponed. So honestly, over 3 years, our frequency wasn't exactly high at all. Veins popped on her forehead. A massive wave of true powerlessness crashed over her. So what do you and I make of this? She finally realized I'd slipped her control, becoming someone entirely different. She couldn't hold on to me anymore. It truly felt like my love was gone. Suddenly, she grabbed her chest hard. "Stick with me here." A massive sense of loss hit her like a ton of bricks. She was completely confused. Wasn't it just an engagement party? Why was she reacting this way? Meanwhile, back home, Auntie Martha gave me a look of deep pity. "Thomas, finish this warm porridge and get your energy back." She was totally right. I needed recovery. My crow powers could definitely curse Serafina, but using them always came with a serious price. I drank the warm porridge, instantly placed the empty bowl down, and gave her a truly sweet smile. "Thanks, Auntie Martha. You work so incredibly hard," she replied gently. "Just rest well. Your health is the absolute most important thing." I nodded. Meanwhile, Chloe stepped into a fancy private lounge where Serafina was aggressively throwing back glasses of strong liquor. Her closest bestie, Chloe, sat right beside her. "What is happening? Drinking your deep sorrows away. This is completely out of character for you, Serafina." She just ignored her, entirely downing another fresh glass of whiskey instantly. Mentally, she absolutely could not erase the memory of my cold eyes. For the very first time, a crushing pain squeezed her freezing heart. Chloe just shrugged and slowly poured another full glass. The exact second it was ready, Serafina chugged it. Chloe pointed out dryly, "Your stomach is super weak. Slow down before your house manager starts nagging you endlessly again." Hearing those exact words, Serafina froze entirely. Her voice choked up. "He won't anymore." Chloe easily shifted the chat back to me, raising one eyebrow. Honestly, everyone in town knew our crazy dramatic history. Canceling a massive, beautiful engagement party on a random whim. Now pay attention here. The day I left town, everyone started betting on exactly when I would come crawling back. Even Chloe totally joined the wild game. Nearly all the wealthy elites placed a major bet. She chose the absolute longest timeline, 10 whole days. Others guessed 1, 2, or 3 short days. Nobody guessed past 5. Since tons of people gambled big money, all eyes were watching Serafina. Today, when she finally brought me back, everyone was absolutely stunned. They all figured I would pathetically return alone, never expecting Serafina to personally come get me. None of that actually mattered, though. The crazy part was Chloe winning the bet. I had vanished for half a month. Chloe curiously asked, "He is actually super furious now." Feeling totally overwhelmed by my cold attitude lately, Serafina distractedly asked Chloe, "It was merely an engagement party. Is it truly worth staying this incredibly mad over?" Chloe just shrugged. "Who honestly knows? If you believe it is fine, then cool. But my little brother has been fiercely yelling about you at home for 2 solid weeks." Carter, Chloe's actual younger brother, literally respected nobody in this wealthy city, but somehow a regular country guy like me impressed him, becoming total best bros. He was honestly the one guy in town willing to get super furious on my behalf. Serafina poured herself another strong drink, tightly gritting her teeth. "You and I felt that, right? He wants to break up." Chloe froze completely. Thomas stayed loyal for 7 years, and now he wants out. She quickly turned her head, staring at Serafina in total confusion. "Is that not fantastic?" Serafina looked straight up, glaring with absolute icy eyes. Chloe threw her hands up defensively. "Do not look at me like that. Was this not your goal? Thomas was never in our elite league anyway. Did you actually plan to marry him? Having fun together for a couple years is more than enough. For an actual marriage, you need someone with matching social status. Quinn is truly a great option." "Seriously, Chloe?" Serafina suddenly snapped coldly. Her attitude shocked Chloe, who blurted out, "No way." "Are you actually serious?" Serafina gave zero answers, just taking another heavy sip. That single action proved her deep frustration. Chloe was honestly mind-blown. Serafina drowning her sorrows over pure love. "Serafina, we have been best friends forever. Let me give some advice. You really should not catch feelings for Thomas. He already decided to let go. Just let him leave." Hearing that advice, Serafina's hand holding her drink completely froze. Lately, facing my super icy glares, had she considered giving up? She was born at the absolute top, totally proud her whole life. He was literally just one single guy. If he vanished, she could easily find another. But she just could not. Thinking about me made her chest tighten heavily, unable to even breathe. Chloe suddenly felt massive pity for her best friend. If you really care about Thomas, you are absolutely doomed here. Honestly, the wild fact I stayed loyal for 7 whole years already shocked Chloe completely. That insane dedication needed to melt someone as freezing as Serafina for 7 straight years definitely belonged in the record books. So what do you and I learn? Everyone thought I was the clown, but the real massive joke now, that is Serafina. Chloe finally realized Serafina caught real feelings for me. If true, she could only light a candle and pray hard because my stubbornness was legendary. Once I actually called it quits, it meant I completely refused to ever deal with Serafina again. She nervously took another quick sip. She had absolutely no idea how to explain anything anymore. All right, jump in with me here. Chloe was dragging a completely wasted Serafina into the villa while I casually lounged there watching movies absolutely unbothered. Chloe dumped her right onto the sofa and glared at me. I brought her back. She drank way too much. Go make her some hangover soup now. I casually glanced at the woman completely reeking of alcohol. I stood up, grabbed a blanket, and tossed it right over Serafina's head, covering her face entirely. Then I yelled out, "Auntie Martha, please make Serafina some hangover soup." With that, I spun around and marched upstairs. Chloe frowned. "You are not making it." Before, whenever she dragged a drunk Serafina home, I would rush over to help immediately. I would wipe her face, cook her soup, and sit by her side, looking completely love-struck. But today, I did not pause for a second. I just shrugged. Not her maid. Besides, she chose to drink. She is breathing fine. I almost said, if she drinks until she drops, she absolutely deserves it. But that sounded way too harsh, and I wanted zero drama. Chloe stood there watching my back disappear upstairs without a single second glance. Chloe suddenly realized the massive loss Serafina was actually experiencing. If an outsider felt this freezing distance, just imagine how utterly terrible Serafina felt being right in the middle of it. She secretly prayed for Serafina right then, hoping her friend would finally wake up and resolve things peacefully with me, once and for all. Otherwise, Serafina would be the only one suffering here. I walked straight back to my room. Even though we dated, we had slept in separate bedrooms for a very long time. Even on the 1st and 15th after we finished, she always returned to her own room immediately. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed mixed with Serafina's drunken, messy slurring. "Thomas, open this door right now! Now watch this next move." Pure disgust crossed my face. I walked into the bathroom, grabbed a massive glass of water, opened the door, and splashed her right in the face. "Serafina, if you want to act crazy while drunk, go do it in your room. Do not make a huge mess here." Huge water drops slid down her gorgeous face, giving her this tragic, ruined beauty kind of vibe. If this happened before, I totally would have jumped up, snapped pictures, and saved them all. But today I felt absolutely nothing inside. I adored Serafina since I first laid eyes on her at 16. I waited until I turned 18 to finally confess my feelings. My relentless chasing was entirely based on the simple fact that she was totally single back then. I was single too. Honestly, when I first discovered she had special feelings for Quinn, I actually wanted to completely back out of it. No matter how much I really liked her, I refused to play third wheel. But Serafina promised me so firmly, "Quinn is just a little brother. In this lifetime, there is absolutely zero chance of us ever happening." I gave her my entire heart. I really thought she understood, so I trusted her. You know how that goes, right? Total unrequited love, while I meant absolutely nothing to her. I slammed the door shut. Outside, Serafina silently wiped her wet face. Honestly, she had not even drank that much. She just wanted liquid courage to finally make peace. She let out a massive sigh. It seemed my anger over the canceled engagement was incredibly deep and very real. She rubbed her temples, totally overwhelmed by complete helplessness. Fine, whatever. She decided to give me some space to just calm down. She decided to move out for a while, waiting until I digested my anger before returning. Meanwhile, in my room, I was entirely oblivious to her thoughts. I slept wonderfully like a baby. I woke around noon, headed downstairs, and sat right at the dining table for Auntie Martha's prepared meal. She brought my food over and stood there looking super hesitant beside me. I smiled. "Auntie Martha, if you want to ask me something, just say it. It is totally fine." "Thomas, are you and Miss Serafina having issues?" I just shrugged. "We broke up," she asked incredibly cautiously, "because of the engagement party." Miss Serafina was absolutely in the wrong there. I sighed heavily. "You could say that, but no. A warm heart never freezes over instantly. For 7 long years, I loved her completely, holding absolutely nothing back from her at all. But I get super tired too. I get bored, hurt, and sad. That love slowly ground down piece by piece until nothing remained anymore. The canceled engagement party was simply the final straw that broke the camel's back. Auntie Martha felt terribly sorry. She had watched all my painful sacrifices over these years. I gave her a bright smile. "Do not worry, Auntie." The exact moment we broke up, I felt incredibly light, as if heavy chains shattered right off my body. She suddenly remembered something, rushed to the TV cabinet, grabbed a box, and handed it over. "This is the phone Serafina bought you. Your old SIM card is already inside." I did not refuse. I powered it on, logged into WeChat, and instantly countless messages flooded my screen. I just glanced and ignored every single one. Most were sent the day of the canceled party, mocking me. I really did not care. I found Carter's contact and immediately messaged him. He replied super fast. "Heard Serafina personally brought you back. You are not getting back together, right?" I chuckled and typed back a cool line. "Stay tuned, guys. Let's jump into this." "Zero chance left for me and Serafina." Carter texted back instantly. "Whoever made you move on from Serafina is absolute top tier. Do not stress, bro. I will introduce you to some incredibly stunning girls soon." I completely cracked up. Right at that second, my phone rang. Seeing the unknown number, I just raised one eyebrow and answered. A super loud female voice blasted, "Thomas, you love playing little games, right? You walked away quietly, so why come crawling right back now?" I just let out a quiet chuckle. "Mrs. Taylor, you definitely have eyes everywhere. But you must know your very own daughter came picking me up, right? Stop being so incredibly smug." Her voice completely shook with anger before turning totally freezing cold. "Since you are back, get to the main house now. I have important guests. Come here and serve everyone." A super cold smirk appeared on my face. Victoria was actually Serafina's mom. She never gave me any respect, constantly bullying me for years in absolute secret. My mouth slowly turned up into a dark, mocking smirk. "Fine, wait there, I am coming," Victoria snapped impatiently. "Hurry up," then completely hung up. I instantly blocked her number completely. "Keep waiting forever, lady. I am never showing up." Traveling from my villa to the main house took 40 minutes. Mrs. Taylor literally waited 1 entire hour without seeing a single trace of me. Her rich friend, Mrs. Chu, started laughing out loud. "This future son-in-law is not even married yet, and he ignores your orders. Does he think he rules the family because of Serafina? Has he got zero respect for his future mother-in-law? Now pay close attention here." Victoria was naturally arrogant and completely despised me. After I dared to stand her up and embarrass her in front of her rich friends, she furiously dialed my number. "Sorry, the number you called is currently busy." Mrs. Chu completely covered her mouth, totally shocked. "Victoria, did you get completely blocked?" Hearing this, Victoria's entire face turned pitch black. Successfully standing her up felt absolutely incredible. I completely fixed myself up and headed to grab lunch with Carter. We met at our usual favorite steakhouse. When I arrived, he was already waiting, waving super excitedly when he saw me. I walked over happily and gave him a big bro hug. Carter gave a fake, disgusted look, but was smiling brightly. "If Serafina had not dragged you back, I would never see your face again." I raised my hands in surrender. "Do not mention her anymore." Carter quickly pulled me into a seat. "Her personally bringing you back caused an absolutely massive stir. Just hearing her name gives me a huge headache. First, I do not want to discuss her at all. Second, she is like some lingering spirit." Ding, my phone suddenly chimed with a message. "Serafina." I instantly felt a massive headache coming. My big mouth was ruining things again. Right after I called her a ghost, she texted. I really needed to shut my mouth before totally sabotaging myself. Carter instantly snatched my phone to see her message. "Dinner at Lowfish Restaurant in 30 minutes. Carter's jaw just dropped. What an absolute coincidence. "We are at Lowfish Steakhouse right now." I smirked. "Do not worry, she will not make it in time. You and I both saw this coming." I screenshotted her dinner invite, then snapped a quick restaurant selfie. I posted a private status visible strictly to Quinn, waiting for a romantic dinner. Then I completely ignored Serafina's text. Back at her company, Serafina spent all day preparing for our big dinner date. Right when her elevator hit the main lobby, her phone started ringing. "Quinn." She frowned and answered. Quinn's panicked voice rang out. "Serafina, she is here. I see her. She is downstairs looking right at me." Ah, she is coming after me, Serafina, save me. Then came the loud sound of a phone hitting the floor, showing his total panic. Serafina's pace completely quickened, but her voice stayed calm. Lucy drives straight to Van Dennen Club. Sitting inside her black car, she remembered our dinner. Sorry, something urgent came up. Go ahead and eat without me. Carter and I both read this exact text while preparing to eat. A super mocking smirk formed on my face. Carter, meanwhile, absolutely lost his mind. Damn it, is she really that terrible? He definitely saw through my little stunt. Honestly, getting her dinner text pretending I was not annoyed was just a complete lie. But thankfully, it absolutely did not hurt like before. I knew exactly how special Quinn was to her. For 7 entire years, I had tasted the bitter feeling of being abandoned at a moment's notice hundreds of times. I was totally numb now. Carter angrily clenched his fists. Bro, do not be sad. Tonight I am taking you out to party with beautiful ladies. We will call 10 of them. I guarantee you will like at least one. When we finished eating, it was totally dark outside. Nightlife had officially begun. We hit up an ultra-exclusive top-tier VIP club. The models here were 5'7" and gorgeous. My eyes lit up. I grabbed Carter's arm, feeling super hyped. Best bro, I was so wrong. I should have come out with you ages ago. We completely threw ourselves onto the dance floor, dancing like total maniacs. All the repressed emotions inside my chest completely vanished into thin air. Trust me, you will want to see what happens next. Lost in the music, I had no idea several VIP eyes were locked onto me. Miss Veronica, look, that guy dancing over there. Stick with me, you and I are diving into pure payback. Veronica, holding champagne, snapped her head toward the dance floor, hearing my name. Spotting me, she got excited. She was still super mad that I had publicly outed her family secrets to her entire friend group. Now I was basically serving myself up on a silver platter. She shot her best friend, Hin Hin, a signal. Go. Hin Hin totally understood the mission, eagerly strutting onto the floor while Veronica started recording on her phone. I was partying hard until a creepy hand suddenly grabbed my waist. I stopped and glared. Everyone was just vibing in their own world. Figuring out who did it was impossible. I sneered, muttering under my breath. Whoever just touched me will break a leg. Right as I spoke, a masked girl nearby suddenly tumbled right off the elevated dance floor. A terrifying scream completely pierced through the super loud club music. Ah, my leg, it looked awful. Hin Hin had twisted her ankle falling, and that bone snap echoed loudly. Trying to brace her, her hand slammed right onto broken glass, piercing deeply straight into her palm. A bright red mess spilled everywhere. What a brutal scene. The music stopped. Everyone froze. Bouncers rushed over immediately, carting her out to the hospital without a single word. Carter stared blankly at the girl being carried away. Was that Hin Hin talk about terrible luck? I also spotted Veronica trailing right behind them, catching her super dark glare. You and I both know it was not bad luck. It was karma. Carter sensed the drama and asked what the heck happened. She tried messing with me, so I jinxed her. Carter widened his eyes in shock. Your power is back. I originally met Carter because of this exact ability. Back then, some alley thugs had him completely cornered. I showed up using my jinx to teach them a lesson right before my power totally vanished. He was super bummed then, but ecstatic it returned. I threw my arm around his shoulder, tracking Veronica as she retreated. Come on, let me show you another show. Walking outside, we spotted Veronica speeding off in her car. Pure amusement flashed in my eyes. She was drinking. Driving under the influence causes crashes. Boom! Before my words even faded, Veronica's Mercedes slammed directly into a tree at the curve. The hood instantly smoked up. Carter's eyes shined bright. It really is back. Absolutely awesome. I dragged him towards the wreck. Veronica's forehead was heavily injured and one leg was pinned tight. Hearing footsteps, she weakly cried for help, but seeing my face, her expression totally twisted. I faked pure surprise. Wow, looks like you really need help. Beg me, and maybe I will actually be generous enough to save you. She gritted her teeth. In your dreams, no begging, no rescuing. I turned around. Total panic hit her. She was hurt and dizzy. Please do not go. I am begging you. I will help you, but answer one question first. She squeezed her eyes tightly shut, filled with resentment and total humiliation. Just ask. I crossed my arms. That drugged glass of wine Serafina drank earlier. Was it you? Her face turned beet red from pure rage. Thomas, if you refuse to save me, then get lost. Stop pinning your dirty deeds on me. Let us pause for a second here. Her absolute disgust looked totally genuine. This made me think. When I cursed Lucy to fall over, it actually happened. But Veronica's crash was not destructive, which meant her malicious intent toward me was not extreme. I casually added, if you are lying, the car will ignite. I quickly pulled Carter backward. The car did absolutely nothing. Looks like she really was innocent. Veronica was absolutely furious, cursing me through gritted teeth. With my answer secured, I ignored her completely and walked off. Do not worry, I called the cops. They are arriving soon. Once they breathalyze you, you are totally screwed anyway. She ground her teeth, watching us depart. When we got decently far away, Carter asked, was she really innocent? I simply nodded. If she lied, that car would be in flames right now. Carter looked super confused, but quickly changed the subject. I know a way funnier place. Let us go. He led me to this wildly hot underground bar. The models inside wore practically nothing and were super hands-on. Simply put, an absolute paradise for guys. My eyes lit up. Dude, you knew about this place and kept it hidden. Carter rolled his eyes. I invited you before, but you always declined. I quickly apologized. My bad, man. My bad. Let us go. I need some fun. I stared hungrily at a gorgeous model right before me, reaching out, but right at that critical moment, a booming, angry shout echoed from behind us. Nobody move, hands in the air. I stared at Carter in total shock. His awesome spot was getting raided for illegal activities. Carter could not even look at me, awkwardly coughing. This place is not exactly legal. We were both dragged to the police station for a massive lecture. He sighed. I will call my sister. I blurted out, have her bring someone for me too. Carter gave me a quick okay sign. Meanwhile, Chloe was drinking alongside Serafina. Serafina looked deeply gloomy. Trust me, we are going to want some answers. All right, stick with me for some wild drama. Chloe had been drinking for 2 straight days when Carter called her on speaker. Sister, I am at the police station. Can you pick me up? Chloe burst out laughing. Caught in a raid, Carter sounded super embarrassed. Yeah, fine. I will be right there. Then Carter added a twist. Thomas is actually here too. Can you get someone to pick him up? Chloe totally froze, instinctively looking over at Serafina. Those icy eyes were already glaring, giving Chloe some serious goosebumps. Chloe quickly told the phone that is probably not convenient. I am not his close friend or his guardian. I have too many eyes on me right now. I do not want any trouble. I suddenly interrupted. It is totally fine. I will call someone else. Before Chloe could even hang up, I made a quick call. Diana, I am at the station with some trouble. Can you come pick me up? Chloe hung up instantly because Serafina's intense glare was literally dropping the room's temperature. From the exact moment she refused to help right up until I said I would just call somebody else. Serafina was staring intensely at her phone, but I had zero intention of calling her. I contacted my senior Diana instead. Watch closely now, this genius move was aggressively crossing her limits. Pushed to the edge, Serafina abruptly stood up. Where are you going? Chloe asked blankly. Radiating pure ice. Serafina replied, your brother is at the station, right? I am going to pick him up. Carter and I sat waiting. Chloe arrived first, signed the paperwork, and led Carter out. Carter said he would wait for me outside. I waved him off. Go on, Diana is almost here. But Chloe stayed behind, looking at me super weirdly. You avoided asking Serafina for a ride and called this Diana instead. I shot her a very sharp look. Was it really that hard to understand? Carter tugged his sister's sleeve. They broke up. Obviously, he is not calling her. Suddenly, I smiled, looking right past her shoulder. Diana over here. Diana walked over, radiating absolute elegance and intellect. Thomas, I am here. I scratched my head awkwardly. Sorry for bothering you so late, Diana. She just smiled gently. Completely fine. It is just a small favor. She signed the papers and smoothly bailed me out. Knowing the full story, she teased me. Next time you hang out, choose a legal spot. My ears burned bright red. Getting caught messing around by my favorite senior was super embarrassing. I waved my hands frantically. Never again. Seriously, never again. I really just wanted to have a little fun, but ending up at the station was just terrible luck. The absolute worst part was begging someone to pick me up. I am literally dying of embarrassment. Her face showed nothing but pure fondness. It is no big deal. Do not be embarrassed, boys, these days. As long as you keep your boundaries and avoid illegal stuff, letting loose every now and then is totally fine. I looked at her, deeply moved. She was so thoughtful and gentle, it was practically overflowing. It is getting late. Let me take you home, she offered kindly. I beamed. Thanks so much, Diana. Meanwhile, from her car, Serafina watched me smiling at another woman. An indescribable wave of anger erupted in her chest. She threw the car door wide open and coldly ordered, "Get into my car." Carter, Chloe, and Diana were all standing at the entrance. You and I definitely felt that awkward tension. Her sudden appearance completely froze the air. I immediately frowned at her. "Why are you here?" Serafina was so furious at my different treatment that she actually laughed. Chloe quickly jumped in to smooth things over. "When Carter called, I was with Serafina, so she came to get you." I forced a polite smile and turned right back to Diana. "Diana, I am really sorry for making you come all the way out here. I will treat you to dinner next time to make up for it. I will head back now. Get home safe." Bothering her at this late hour made me feel incredibly guilty. Diana just nodded. "No trouble at all. Call me whenever you need me. I will get going now. Text me when you are safe," after saying my goodbyes. I had absolutely zero desire to enter Serafina's car, but she was already waiting, and I wanted to avoid starting a pointless argument. I climbed inside, waving back at Carter. "See you later." The car quickly sped off, and the atmosphere inside became completely suffocating. The driver definitely felt the heavy tension. Serafina sat silently with a face of pure ice. I sat opposite her, staring intently at my phone, totally ignoring the freezing energy radiating from her. We quickly arrived at the massive villa. I got out immediately and headed straight toward my room. Just as I tried to close the bedroom door, a powerful force blocked it. I turned to find a furious Serafina holding the door open with one hand. "Why didn't you call me?" Honestly, I felt like she was completely losing her mind lately. Before, she would never ask such a stupid question. "I am super tired. I just want to rest now." Her cold eyes stared intensely at me. Why was there such stubbornness in her gaze, like she absolutely demanded an answer? An unexplainable annoyance flared up deep inside me. I gave her a completely sarcastic smirk. "Trust me, you and I are gonna love this payback," right in front of her face. I whipped out my phone and directly called Lucy. It rang for a long time before finally hanging up automatically. Staying totally expressionless, I dialed it again. This time, Lucy picked up very quickly. "Stick with me here." I kept it brief. "I'm at the station. Tell Serafina to get me." Lucy's icy voice hit the speaker hard. "Thomas, aren't you totally embarrassed asking Miss Serafina to fetch you after getting locked up like this? Find someone else. Miss Serafina is swamped right now. She has zero time." She coldly hung up the phone. A tiny crack of real emotion finally shattered Serafina's flawless expression. "Why not call me directly?" I raised an eyebrow. "Great question." I instantly dialed Serafina's number. The absolute second it connected, a robotic voice echoed loudly. "Sorry, the person you called is busy." I crossed my arms, smiling in total satisfaction. Serafina just stared blankly. Why didn't my call actually connect? Noticing her confusion, I gently reminded her. "You blocked me." She looked absolutely shell-shocked. Then it clicked. She remembered finding my daily calls incredibly annoying a while back, so she tossed me straight onto her block list, forcing me to deal entirely with her assistant instead. She strictly told her assistant never to bother her unless it was super important. How long ago was that? 1 year, 2 years? She couldn't remember. She opened her block list immediately. My number sat alone. I mocked her. "Can I rest?" "Can you leave?" Bitter regret filled Serafina's heart. She looked deeply into my eyes, finally trying to explain herself. "I simply forgot." I raised a hand to stop her. "Enough. That is your business. It means nothing to me now. I need rest." I shut the door, locking her out. She stared, a sudden wave of pure powerlessness washing over her. She blocked me because she was super busy and my calls never stopped. Now watch closely. She couldn't handle it, so she pushed me to her assistant. After finishing work, she just completely forgot to unblock my number. Maybe subconsciously she actually enjoyed the quiet, but she never expected Lucy to ignore her strict orders. Seeing how calmly I handled that second call, this clearly wasn't the first time. Serafina quickly dialed Chloe. "I need your brother. Hand him the phone." Chloe passed it over. "Serafina wants you." Carter just smirked. "What does she want with me?" he answered. "Yeah," Serafina asked bluntly. "You're close with Thomas. You know exactly what he likes. Tell me. I want to make things right with him." Carter reacted like he just heard the joke of the century. "He just wants his freedom. He wants to completely break up with you. Do that now and he'll be thrilled. He doesn't need anything else." Undeniably, Carter understood me perfectly. He totally hit the nail on the head. Chloe playfully smacked her brother's forehead. "Stop spouting nonsense. Be serious." Carter sneered. I'm not joking. I'm telling the absolute truth. When Thomas loved her, she did absolutely nothing. Now that he doesn't care, she's pulling all this totally useless crap. Just break up already. He shoved the phone to his sister, completely ignoring Serafina. Chloe sighed helplessly. He's just talking pure nonsense. Just ignore him. You and I both know she's panicking now. Serafina hung up coldly, stared at my locked door, sighed in pure defeat, and called Luke. Prepare an epic engagement party much bigger than before. Highest standards for absolutely everything. Luke trembled internally, but just had to ask another engagement party with who Serafina's tone was absolute ice. Who else could it possibly be? If not Thomas, then who? Luke quickly replied. Yes, I understand. Doing it immediately. Every single detail will be absolute perfection. Luke hung up still in total disbelief. This simply couldn't happen. He immediately called Quinn. Mr. Quinn, I have some serious news to report. Early the next morning, I was barely awake when Victoria's incredibly obnoxious screaming suddenly echoed through the villa. I planned to completely ignore her, but she was so loud I literally couldn't sleep. I opened my door, my eyes barely open. Downstairs, Victoria threw a massive tantrum, smashing things. Auntie Martha stood by the kitchen, anxiously repeating, I don't know. Seeing me step out, Victoria's eyes flared with absolute rage. Thomas, why exactly didn't you show up yesterday? Do you realize how much face I lost? I casually leaned against the second-floor railing, a slight smile on my face. Mrs. Taylor, respect is something you earn yourself, not something others hand you. You lost face because you honestly have zero shame. What does that have to do with me? Her face darkened. You're actually calling me shameless. I simply shrugged. You said it, not me. She choked on her own anger. How dare you ever speak to me like that? With your pathetic background, you expect to be the two families' son-in-law. If you want to marry my daughter, you must obey me and serve me perfectly. Otherwise, just keep dreaming. I lazily rubbed my sleepy face. Right. You're absolutely correct. The two family has so many strict rules and a super high status. You should definitely find an equal match for your daughter. I actually think Quinn is a pretty good choice. You should play matchmaker for them. Victoria was completely stunned. She clearly didn't expect this reaction. Usually, Quinn was a strict taboo subject. Mentioning him made me completely explode. But now I'm actively matching Serafina with him. We'll see how this goes together. Let's dive in. I acted completely grossed out by Serafina. She instantly grew furious. Thomas, are you even worthy of rejecting my daughter? She is the absolute brightest youth here, and our family is top tier. You clinging to her is a massive blessing earned by all your ancestors. I nodded repeatedly. Yep, I am truly not worthy. Please matchmake her fast so she stops holding me back and lets me go. Victoria instantly grew suspicious. It felt completely useless. My daughter is amazing. What kind of weird reaction is this I am telling you? I just smiled blandly. Sure, I admit she is totally excellent, but what does that have to do with me? The wedding is off. A dull ache hit my chest. Before, my only dream was marrying Serafina, and I worked incredibly hard for it. But now it was totally impossible. We completely clashed. Forcing things ends badly. Victoria immediately pointed right at the door. You said it! Then get out of my daughter's villa right now. My eyes lit up fast. Leaving immediately, I happily jogged straight downstairs. Her mom was clearly kicking me out, a total eviction, but right as I hit the bottom of the stairs, someone grabbed my wrist with absolute insane force. Watch closely here. The next second, I met Serafina's freezing stare. Where are you going? Total shock flashed in my eyes. Why wasn't she working right now, shaking her hand off? I just frowned. Your mom told me to leave today. Victoria was also shocked seeing Serafina home, but quickly recovered her cool. Serafina, Thomas finally stopped bothering you today. Hurry and tell him to get lost. I will find someone better for you. Haven't you always liked Quinn? I will set it up. Standing aside, I just nodded fast, basically urging Victoria to hurry up and finish. Hearing her mom Serafina's beautiful face instantly went dark. Who said I like Quinn? You do not need to involve yourself in my personal affairs. Coming over here early just to cause a massive scene and trying to kick him out. Forget your place, as Mrs. Taylor and I will ship you back to Dong City. Victoria went completely pale, screaming out in pure shock. I am your real mother. You want to banish me to Dong City over Thomas? Are you crazy? Pure impatience flashed across Serafina's stunning face. If you do not leave this instant, I will ship you there right now. Furious, but totally powerless, Victoria shot me a super venomous glare and angrily stormed off. If this were the past, I would have definitely played peacemaker. Why should I care about their messy family drama? Seeing her leave, I tried to escape too, but Serafina firmly gripped my wrist tight again. I frowned. Now what a glint of something totally mysterious flashed in her icy eyes. Come to the office with me today. I instantly refused. No way! But her intense grip tightened her voice, leaving absolutely zero room for argument. You are going whether you want to or not. I frowned. I cannot exactly go to work in my pajamas, can I? Seeing I was indeed wearing pajamas, she finally let go. I will wait for you downstairs, rolling my eyes. I headed upstairs to quickly change. Then I posted a status hidden from everyone except Quinn. Serafina wants to show me her office, so fun, plus I attached a handsome selfie. I refused to believe that Total Drama King could sit still after seeing it. Later on, I followed Serafina to her company. She held my hand entering floor 58, walking right through the secretaries where Luke and Lucy sat at their desks. Pay attention now. She walked toward her office, but suddenly stopped dead. She turned around and marched right up to Lucy. Hand over your work. You're fired. Lucy's face registered absolute pure shock before she frantically begged. Miss Serafina, what did I do wrong? Please give me a chance, I will fix it. Luke also jumped in. Miss Serafina, is there some misunderstanding here? I trained Lucy and she has always done a great job. Serafina showed absolutely zero emotion. She just stared coldly at Lucy. Her beautiful face was completely blank. Staring coldly at her, Serafina snapped. You do not even know what you did wrong and you still think you deserve to stay. You will get standard compensation. Pack your stuff and leave right now. I was completely shocked. Why was Serafina suddenly firing Lucy out of nowhere? A wild thought flashed through my head. Was this because of me? But I instantly dropped that totally ridiculous idea. I am not worth that much to her. Stop dreaming. Panicking Lucy suddenly spotted me standing right next to Serafina. Thinking she figured it out, her eyes turned pure toxic, glaring straight into my face. It was you, right? You totally badmouthed me to Miss Serafina. You snitched Thomas, using a silly personal grudge to ruin my entire career. You are completely shameless. Hearing that garbage, I finally snapped. You know exactly why you are getting fired. Plus, Serafina is the one firing you. Got an issue? Talk to her, why attack me like this? But Lucy firmly believed it was all my fault. Why else would Serafina suddenly fire her? It was absolutely you, you worthless piece of trash. Before she even finished, Serafina coldly delivered a devastating kick. Lucy crashed to the floor in a humiliating mess while Serafina glared down at her. Let that sink in for a second. Who gave you the guts to curse him? Doing it to my face means you did way worse behind my back. Trust me, you need to see this. Thinking about how her assistant mocked me yesterday just for calling a school senior, Serafina's eyes turned absolutely freezing. Get out of my sight! The room temperature plummeted, but then a guy's voice echoed. Serafina, what is going on? Quinn, wearing this sharp white shirt, suddenly stood right behind Lucy. He looked like her ultimate lifeline. Lucy cried out, sounding wronged. Mr. Quinn, Miss Serafina wants to fire me. While whining, she shot me this incredibly toxic glare, acting like I was the main problem here. Quinn looked shocked, turning straight to Serafina. Did Lucy mess up? Why fire her? She worked so incredibly hard to reach this level. It wasn't easy. He gave me this shady glance. Serafina, please give her one more chance. She has really struggled. Hearing that shameless manipulation, I laughed out of pure anger. These two were absolute top-tier actors. Since they loved performing, I decided to play along. Mimicking Quinn, I added Serafina. Lucy really worked so hard. Even if she took secret gigs and leaked contract prices, do not fire her. She came all the way from the tough mountains. She had it hard. You must forgive her. Lucy's face instantly dropped. Quinn gave me this pained, highly disappointed look. Thomas, you are crossing the line. Just because you want Serafina to fire her, you start making up these wildly irresponsible lies. Do you know the impact the entire industry will blacklist her completely? I just smiled. Pay close attention here. Oh, so you know, rumors cause damage. Absolutely hilarious. If I actually controlled Serafina, would she have lasted until today? Quinn glared at me, totally furious. If it wasn't you, why would Serafina randomly fire her? I shrugged. You should ask Serafina. Why question me? I'm no mind reader. I narrowed my eyes, grinning at Lucy. If you never betrayed the company, you have absolutely zero reasons to feel guilty. But if you did, bad luck awaits. Feeling insanely guilty and stressed, Lucy suddenly lunged to strike me. But because she was totally panicking, she tripped on a desk leg and face-planted straight into the floor in a purely hilarious splat. I let out this freezing chuckle. Bad luck is coming. I was actually dropping a direct hint for Serafina there. Already guilty and deeply humiliated by falling, Lucy completely snapped. She scrambled up, lunging right at my face with her hand raised. But before her strike could land, Serafina firmly intercepted it. Her absolute freezing gaze fell upon Lucy. "You dare strike my man right before me, who gave you nerve?" Serafina violently shoved Lucy away. Lucy stumbled backward, face totally pale. Luke just watched, shaking. Lucy had literally lost her entire mind. Serafina was standing right there, yet she dared to attack me. Pulling shady moves behind her back was one thing, but doing it up front was a totally tragic mistake. Quinn jumped in again. "Serafina, this isn't Lucy's fault." Thomas provoked her. Serafina coldly cut him off. "Do I need permission to fire a backstabbing traitor?" Quinn completely froze, his face instantly draining. You and I both felt that chill. It was her first time ever speaking to him that coldly. He literally did not dare speak again. Serafina glared at Lucy. "I'll thoroughly investigate everything you did and hold you totally legally accountable. Now leave." Hearing this ultimate threat, Lucy completely broke down, turning to run away in absolute disgrace. Wearing a freezing expression, Serafina grabbed my hand, forcefully pulling me right into her office. Quinn followed closely, but right as he tried stepping inside, the heavy door slammed shut. Blocked outside, his body went rigid, face pale like pure glass. He instinctively glanced over at Luke. Luke also clearly felt Serafina was acting incredibly out of character today. Inside the office, seeing Serafina actually lock that door, I quickly hurried to open it. Quinn remained outside. I used to hate him interrupting our solo moments, but right now I absolutely did not want to be left alone with her. I honestly wished Quinn stood between us, but Serafina gripped my wrist hard, icy eyes piercing mine. "Why do you think I fired Lucy?" I shrugged. "You discovered her betrayal, right? My predictions never fail." Serafina immediately replied, "I fired her completely because of you." My facial expression became purely indescribable. "Serafina, whatever choices you make are your business. Do not drag me in." Her freezing gaze actually softened. "I never knew she was disrespecting you like that. I just found out yesterday, hence the firing." Catching her hidden meaning, my eyes filled with utter confusion. Yet seeing her intense look, this wave of pure irritation surged inside me. "Are you crazy? You never once explained or cared before. So why do all this today? Are you seriously trying to move me? This is entirely unnecessary." Sensing my strong resistance, brief helplessness flashed across her face. "That engagement party was my fault. I just did not think it through. You and I just witnessed history." "Forgive me," she pleaded. My heart felt bitter. Her first time coaxing me in 7 years. "Stick with me. You and I are about to watch this whole dramatic relationship hit the absolute final breaking point." I stared at her coldly. "Serafina, I forgive the ruined party, but this is completely over now. Let's end things peacefully, right?" Suddenly, she pressed her finger gently against my lips. Her eyes looked incredibly soft and gentle. "No breaking up. I know I messed up before, just give me one chance. I will throw a way bigger party to make up for it. I will never ignore you again." My heart ached so much. She literally knew everything all along. But why did it take until I suffered through every single ounce of pain in this relationship for her to actually apologize? My heart was completely shattered. "Serafina, wait, Mr. Quinn, what's wrong?" Luke's panicked shouting echoed outside, followed by frantic, heavy pounding on the door. "Miss Serafina." Mr. Quinn collapsed. In a flash, while her breath still touched my face, Serafina literally bolted and yanked the big door open. Quinn lay collapsed on the ground, looking incredibly pale. Serafina stayed completely silent. She scooped him up, sprinting toward the elevator. I saw everything clearly. "Watch closely now." Quinn opened his eyes in her arms and shot me an incredibly smug smile. My heart sank. Just like countless times over these past 7 years, Serafina chose him without any hesitation. Just 1 minute ago, she promised to never ignore me again. I took a really deep breath. Serafina's car sped straight toward the hospital. She already contacted Dr. Holly on the way. When they finally arrived, Dr. Holly waited anxiously. She quickly helped Serafina rush Quinn into the emergency room and shut the door. Inside, totally alone with Quinn, Dr. Holly dropped the panicked act and sat down comfortably. Looking at Quinn on the bed with helpless fondness, she lightly pinched his cheek. Stop faking. It is obviously just a minor pressure drop. Her voice sounded totally indulgent. Quinn slowly opened his eyes, looking pretty embarrassed and totally guilty. Holly, I am sorry, I used you again. She shook her head. Quinn, faking sickness like this is not a solid plan. You should realize it by now. Serafina does not actually love you romantically. Dramatic tears suddenly fell from his eyes. Why is Thomas fine but not me? Where do I seriously fall short against him? Serafina marrying him is absolutely not about love. He just got lucky and took a dangerous hit for her a year ago. Someone attacked Serafina. The attacker lunged with a weapon. It was wildly dangerous, and I threw myself right in front of her, taking the critical strike. I was hospitalized for 3 long months. Right after that, she finally agreed to marry me. You see what happened here, right? Because I took that critical strike, she felt obligated to take responsibility for my life, choosing duty over true feelings. Dr. Holly sighed deeply. Serafina owed him, and she owed Quinn, too. She desperately had to balance both sides. Responsibility kept her from letting either go. She stroked Quinn's hair. Do not worry, I will help you. Quinn hugged her gratefully. Thank you, Holly. Dr. Holly stepped out of the emergency room, sighing heavily. Serafina, you know Quinn cannot handle stress. He was so happy seeing you today. Why did he faint? Was Thomas at the office too? Serafina frowned, a dark mood settling over her features. When Quinn was rushed into the room, she immediately thought of me instead. Left alone at the office. She called Luke, who said I left right after they did. She texted me, but I never replied. Why had she banned me from the office all these years? Because Quinn's frail health simply could not handle major emotional shocks. Seeing me constantly triggered him. To prevent his episodes, she banned me from the office. Was that even fair to me? Serafina told Dr. Holly his condition is serious. I contacted a medical team abroad. Take him overseas for better treatment. Dr. Holly totally froze. You want to send him away? Serafina's eyes darkened, looking right at her. Treatment abroad will definitely be better for him. Right? Dr. Holly completely softened her tone. But you know perfectly well he recovers better by your side. Serafina instantly cut her off. I am getting married very soon. I will have a family and kids. I cannot stay single forever just for his sake. Take him abroad. Once Thomas and I finish our engagement, our wedding, and finally get our certificate, then you can bring him back. The emergency doors burst wide open. Quinn stumbled out, hugging Serafina tightly. I am not going. I will not go overseas for treatment. Serafina, please do not send me away. Serafina gently pushed him back, looking at him seriously. Quinn, treating your sickness abroad is better for you. I will arrange everything. When you fully recover, I will welcome you back. He shook his head frantically. No, I am completely fine now. I never want to leave you. Seeing him, Dr. Holly's heart softened. His condition is controlled. He does not need to go overseas. But trust me, you can see her cold, uncompromising resolve is absolute. The foreign medical team is much more professional. It is better. Stick with me here. You and I are about to watch Quinn totally break down. Why was she sending him away? She had never acted this cold before. She looked at him, sighing. I will arrange everything. Holly goes with you. You will not be alone. You are weak. Just go rest. And with that, she walked out. Quinn called after her, totally desperate. Serafina, please stay, but she just kept walking away. Leaving the 2-group building, my phone rang. It was Carter. You actually went there? I froze in shock. How did he know that? I was literally in and out under 15 minutes. Carter sounded completely freezing. You and Serafina are the biggest gossip in the capital today, especially after that messy engagement disaster. Everyone is watching your every single move. Walking into that building looking so cozy, photos immediately exploded across every single high society group chat in the city. Carter left out one detail: everyone was making bets on me again. The first bet about me crawling back totally canceled and tossed out. Now the massive bet was if Serafina and I would throw another huge engagement party within just 6 months. So stepping in together made the elite circles completely lose their minds. He did not need to explain further. I understood perfectly. I just laughed. What was your bet? I wanted to guess 3 days, but Serafina went crazy and refuses to let you leave. I would have won that money easily. Seriously, what is her problem right now? Do you think she actually fell hard for me? I chuckled quietly. I thought she liked me once, but not today. She is just super responsible. Taking that blade for her just created heavy guilt. I hung up on Carter. Instantly, Serafina tried to video call. I completely ignored it. Staring at the failed call, she knew I was dodging her. Sitting alone in her car, she let out this bitter, helpless laugh. Now watch closely, she was completely trapping herself in her own mess. It was absurd. She seriously hated losing control like this. Right then, my phone buzzed again. Dr. Kim calling. Mr. Thomas, today is your scar treatment session. What time are you arriving? I am free right now. Heading over. Reaching the hospital, I spotted that very familiar fancy car parked outside. My jaw totally clenched. Serafina was supposed to bring Quinn here. Why linger spotting me? She smoothly walked right over. I will come with you. Honestly, I thought she lost her mind. She joined me once before, but the painful treatment took 6 straight hours. For a CEO like her, that was a massive time waste. After 2 sessions, she absolutely refused to ever return. Forcing a polite smile, I said no. It is boring and endlessly long. Go back to work. You have a massive company to run. Do not stall. But she refused to be brushed off. Instead, she stared right at me, highly amused. Banning me because you are scared I will see you shirtless during treatment. My calm expression nearly shattered into a million pieces. I just shrugged. Come along then. She was wasting her own time, not mine. Dr. Kim waited patiently, guiding me toward the VIP suite. Serafina attempted to follow inside. Handing over my coat and phone, I blocked the doorway entirely. Just wait out here, I ordered. She backed down. Honestly, she lacked the nerve to look at my ruined back. That brutal blade strike did absolutely massive damage. Anything to protect her. The heavy door shut tight. Sitting silently in the VIP lounge, my phone suddenly vibrated with a loud notification. We all know checking phones is dangerous. She opened his messages, and the second she read them, her calm face turned absolutely furious. The text was from Lucy. Thomas looked closely in the mirror. You actually think you can marry the CEO? You are a beggar dreaming of royalty. How does getting dumped at the altar feel? Her rejection is so incredibly obvious. She truly feels nothing for you at all. Are you honestly shameless enough to keep begging her? Zero pride left? If that was me, I would literally hide away forever. Even chasing me off changes nothing. You are still a complete loser. The CEO will never respect someone like you. Just vanish completely. Serafina sat completely frozen, watching Lucy send these nasty insults one by one. The words were disgustingly toxic. Scrolling up the older texts were slightly tamer, but still super shady. There was even a picture Lucy took beside Quinn, gazing at him with deep affection. The attached caption read, Miss Serafina is nursing Mr. Quinn. Do not interrupt us even on your special birthday. She also found a short video showing Lucy drinking cocktails with Chloe. Chloe asked a question. You just returned from traveling. Are you not planning to visit Thomas today? Lucy casually poured another drink, looking completely annoyed by the question. Nope, he is throwing a childish tantrum. Let him handle it alone. Serafina aggressively kept scrolling. There was so much more. Mostly pictures of her alongside Quinn, tagged with Do Not Disturb. Her pale fingers squeezed the phone tight, eyes practically blazing with absolute fury. Lucy dared to pull this stunt. Serafina grabbed her own phone, dialing Tracy directly from the corporate legal department. Investigate every single shady thing Lucy has ever done here. Gather the hard evidence. I am suing her straight into a prison cell. Tracy hung up super confused, but solving the boss's problems was her actual job. Once enough proof was collected, Tracy called the cops. The police then quickly contacted Lucy. So what do you and I take from this? Karma hits hard. Sued by the company, Lucy panicked. Only Quinn could possibly save her now. Let's jump into the drama. Quinn woke up after passing out from Serafina's total rejection. Lucy called right as he stabilized. Seeing her name pop up, he told Dr. Holly he had to take it. The doctor nodded and gave him space. She left. He waited until she was gone to answer. Mr. Quinn, Serafina is totally suing me. Please save me. Quinn's expression flipped instantly. How is that possible? Serafina would never do that. Lucy panicked. I sent Thomas a text cursing him out, and she saw it. Quinn cursed her internally for leaving such obvious evidence behind. Doing some fast math in his head, he replied, Do not worry. I will beg Serafina to help you. I will contact you soon. He hung up, his fake innocent look vanishing, instantly replaced by pure venom. Serafina was absolutely ruthless, meaning Lucy was entirely done for. He would never waste resources on a useless pawn, but he could definitely still exploit her one last time. Lucy was hot-headed, impulsive, and incredibly selfish. He just needed to use that against Thomas. I walked out of the treatment room and, not seeing Serafina in the lounge anywhere, headed for the exit. Now watch this closely. A familiar voice called out, and seeing who it was, I raised an eyebrow. My dad's illegitimate son, Justin. I just smiled and nodded. You really need to get plastic surgery. Looking that ugly is seriously bad for scaring everyone. Justin's face totally twisted in rage. Careful, your fake mask is totally slipping off. He touched his face by instinct. Catching my mocking smile, he flushed bright red from sheer embarrassment. Ignoring him, I tried to walk right past, but he actually grabbed me. Dad wants to know if you finally asked Serafina about the two-group partnership. I coldly shook his hand off. That is his problem, not mine. If he wants a deal, he can ask the two-group himself. Bothering me is completely useless. My dad, Charles, owned a capital company worth $100 million. Rich to normal people, sure. But in a massive city packed with billionaires, it was absolute pocket change. He cheated constantly, got with Justin's mom, stole everything from my mother, and kicked us out. My mom took me away, passing away in a tragic accident shortly after that. Later, when Charles realized I was engaged to Serafina, he shamelessly played the loving dad, constantly demanding I secure massive projects with the two-group. Absolutely disgusting. I really wished he would go totally bankrupt and end up begging. Help him get rich. Keep dreaming. Justin sneered at me. Thomas, why are you acting so incredibly arrogant? Think you can still help? Dumped at your own engagement party? Are you not completely humiliated right now? How do you even show your face around the Capitol? If it were me, I would have completely hidden myself away from everyone forever by now. I gave a cold laugh. Why should I hide? So what if Serafina and I canceled our engagement? What is so humiliating about it? Couples break up all the time. At least our relationship was totally public and legitimate. And you, I looked at him feeling completely amused. The pathetic son of a homewrecker. You will never be able to hold your head up proudly. Furious at the insult, Justin lunged forward. I laughed coldly, dodging directly to the side. Immediately, a loud pop echoed as Justin's bone totally dislocated, crashing down hard onto the floor. The injury was rough, proving he truly had massive malicious intent toward me. I felt absolutely zero sympathy. You and I need answers here. I grabbed his chin. 3 years ago, were you at the Emperor Club? He angrily slapped my hand away. What does that have to do with you? That room was super exclusive. You could never have gotten inside. But I remembered seeing him there that day. With his absolute trash personality, he definitely could have drugged me. I glared directly at him. If I find out it was you, you are completely finished. He mocked me right back. Serafina already thinks it was you. Thomas, do you not feel pathetic? Even I know you are innocent, but Serafina refuses to believe you. Think about it. You gave her everything. Does she even care about you? My heart seriously stung with a bitter, rushing sourness. Even Justin knew I was not that type of guy. But Serafina actually thought I was that despicable. I laughed out with sad self-deprecation. I can only blame my own terrible taste in women. I chose the wrong person, so I accept it. I stood up and walked away. But turning the corner, I spotted Serafina leaning lazily, her totally expressionless but probing gaze completely fixed on me. She surprised me. You didn't leave? I grabbed my phone back from her, noticed it was totally empty, shoved it right into my pocket, and confidently walked out of the hospital. She followed right behind me, quietly thinking about what she just heard. Serafina's upbringing was incredibly unique in the capital. The old master was absolutely ruthless, fiercely pushing their entire family to the absolute pinnacle of power. Trust me, you and I are not ready for this drama. Let us dive right into this wild family drama. He had 3 sons, but only Serafina's dad made it, and that guy was a totally useless playboy without any business sense. Victoria came from a completely average background but was gorgeous, so he chased her. By total chance, while dating a terrible car crash left him severely injured. That tragic accident permanently wiped out his ability to ever have kids again. But Victoria got incredibly lucky and ended up pregnant. That baby would become the single surviving heir of the entire Two family. Because of this, she married in and officially became Mrs. Two. But blinded by obsession, she treated little Serafina as just a mere tool to constantly control that totally absent father. Victoria constantly hit the poor girl, using her to play the helpless victim. She forced her into freezing showers or down staircases, all just to guilt-trip that playboy father into finally coming back home. But a guy's guilt and pity only works so many times before going completely numb. The worst time, Serafina hit a fever of 105.8. Without the butler, she would have perished or suffered permanent brain damage. When Old Master 2 found out, he quickly took her away. At 8 years old, she already knew she was just a tool. Even as an only child, she failed to pull her dad from his wild life. Raised by her grandfather, she became the highly anticipated heir. Raised entirely without love and carrying immense pressure, she naturally developed that absolute freezing cold personality today. To her, emotions were completely useless. She never knew how to love nor loved anyone before. Now pay attention here. Why treat Thomas specially because only he loved her unconditionally, accepting who she really was and willing to do absolutely anything? Getting drugged felt entirely normal to her. She was not even slightly angry about it. She just went with the flow. I was her first guy and she never doubted I was the one behind it. She didn't need to understand, refused to waste effort coaxing me, and completely ignored how I felt about all this. She only needed my unconditional love. But seeing the resistance in my eyes, her heart finally twinged. My spoken words, I chose the wrong person. Accepting the consequences meant I truly regretted it, taking back all my love. Getting in the car, she casually suggested making up for missing yesterday's dinner. I just hummed back right as my phone suddenly rang. It was Diana. I told her I would be right there. Hanging up, I turned to Serafina. I have some urgent things at school. Just eat by yourself. I went to leave, but she grabbed my wrist tight. Is she that important? I frowned hard. Are you sick? It is about my studies. I refused to delay my graduation again. Hearing that specific reminder, she just reflexively let me go. I lost a whole year recovering from that heavy strike I bravely took for her. That severely delayed my graduation. Otherwise, I would have already graduated instead of struggling for makeup credits now. You and I both know this is huge. She hesitated, but I walked away totally cold, grabbing a cab straight to campus. Diana called because our professor's peach blossom painting was missing right before a major competition tomorrow. The precious artwork stayed safely hidden inside a securely locked studio cabinet, and I held the single key. Hitting the campus, I sprinted straight to the studio, panting. Diana was already inside, her elegant figure waiting so gracefully. She gently poured a cup of water, her beautiful eyes glowing with pure, pampering affection. I told you not to rush like that. Why sprint so fast? Drink this first. Taking a massive gulp, I walked right over and unlocked the heavy cabinet. The precious painting was sitting perfectly safe inside. I carefully handed it over and she smiled brightly, taking it. I will bring this to the professor. Come along. Since you kept it safe, you should absolutely hand it over yourself. Riding inside Diana's car, she asked if I got totally scolded yesterday. I shook my head. No, but Serafina completely annoyed me. Just mentioning it ruined my mood, and honestly, airing out our messy personal drama was never really my style anyway. Diana picked up on my mood and didn't pry. The professor, Mrs. Margaret, lived in an apartment right near campus. Walking inside, she warmly grabbed my hands. Thomas, my absolute star student. You rested for a full year. How are you feeling now? Any plans? I felt pretty guilty knowing exactly what she meant. She held an exclusive study abroad quota just for elite advanced training. She asked me last year, but taking that awful hit for Serafina meant spending 12 long months recovering, so that amazing opportunity completely fell through. She clearly valued me, but art was not my real passion. Dancing was. I only studied art because Serafina hated my dancing, though honestly my natural talent for painting was entirely undeniable. I just gave her a polite, super vague response. I understand, Professor. I will think about it carefully. Mrs. Margaret patted my shoulder affectionately. It is your life. I will not force you, but hope you really think it through. I nodded. She glanced at niece Diana, waving us both off. It is getting late. I won't keep you for dinner. Go on ahead. I really need to touch up this painting for tomorrow's event. Smiling, we said our goodbyes. It was dinner time. Remembering Diana backing me up at the police station yesterday, I turned to her. Diana, thanks for yesterday. Let's hit a great steakhouse. Trust me. You and I will absolutely love what happens next. All right, stick with me here. Diana looked pleasantly shocked and eagerly accepted the offer to expand her horizons. I gave her a thumbs up, promising absolute satisfaction. Everyone loves this spot. Then she smoothly opened the passenger door. Your carriage awaits, Prince. I burst out laughing. Diana, you are really keeping up with the modern trends. I honestly had no idea. She was always such a serious student, ignoring games and TikToks for her textbooks. She giggled. Do you think I am some ancient relic I might not post, but I definitely watch those videos. I want to understand how you young people think today just so I can get closer to someone I really care about. The soft restaurant lights hit us and her eyes suddenly sparked with serious intensity. I swallowed hard. The tension spiked. Something massive just exploded in my chest. Flustered, I changed the subject fast. "Step on it, Diana. We will hit a huge line if we are late." She totally ignored my awkward pivot. I waited 4 years, what is another minute? My heart went absolutely crazy. It was not in my head she actually liked me. We finally reached the restaurant. I eagerly asked if she had been here before. She shook her head, saying she preferred cooking healthy meals herself. "Western food is not really my thing," she admitted. I grinned. "Steak is completely fine, plus this spot is legendary, you gotta try it." She gave a soft nod. "If you hype it up this much, I have to, but what if I get hooked? Then you will just have to be my permanent dining partner." No backing out. My face completely burned up. I was getting so shy. "We can totally come back if you love it." Her smile felt like a warm spring breeze, so gentle yet completely captivating. I grabbed my usual table. She tossed me the menu. "You are the regular you order," I nodded confidently. "The raw beef fillet here is next level and incredibly authentic. I will order that for you." She smiled in agreement. Honestly, Diana was so elegant and polite, handling every single moment with absolute perfection. Her beautiful eyes radiated pure warmth. You could literally feel the affection. Total opposite of Serafina and her icy, heartless glares. Serafina never even realized how much that freezing attitude actually stung. I stopped myself right there. Comparing Serafina to Diana again, was I losing my mind? Why bother? They were miles apart in personality. I gently tapped my cheeks to shake Serafina out of my brain. Diana and I locked eyes with huge grins. The vibe was just so incredibly cozy. Now pay attention here, this is where it gets messy. Every move we made was being secretly watched. Veronica snapped a quick, sneaky photo. Not gonna lie, the shot was flawless. Perfect lighting, undeniable chemistry, capturing the exact second Diana reached over to wipe my mouth clean. Her eyes were overflowing with sweetness and my smile was massive. We basically looked like two lovers on an epic date. Veronica instantly fired the picture over to Serafina with an absolutely savage caption attached. "Sister Thomas, he is giving you a green hat, total betrayal." Meanwhile, back at the villa, Serafina was in the greenhouse casually swirling some wine. She could not stop thinking about how I walked out today without a single second thought. She had asked to eat together, but I completely blew her off. Back then, if she came home, I would happily cook a massive feast of her favorite dishes. No matter the hour, I always waited. Sometimes she promised to return only to get stuck endlessly at the office. Even past midnight, I held out hope. But today, I was completely unfazed. Her brows tied in a frustrated knot. "I know you and I saw this coming. Everything shifted after that canceled engagement." Suddenly, her phone buzzed. She looked down, eyes going absolutely wide. "He is giving you a green hat." She frantically tapped the chat open. Veronica spammed her with pictures of our dinner date. Diana looked breathtakingly elegant, and I was giving her the brightest, happiest smile ever. Diana smiled right back, radiating pure warmth. Serafina felt a sharp, agonizing stab in her chest. I had not smiled at her like that in ages. Her expression turned to absolute ice as she immediately FaceTimed my number. Meanwhile, I was happily eating that raw fillet when some pepper sauce smeared on my lip. Noticing it, Diana grabbed a tissue and softly wiped the mess away for me. I completely froze up, then flashed her a huge grin. "Thanks so much." Her face looked incredibly fond. "Eat slower. If you love the food this much, I will definitely take you out more." I cheered internally, knowing I had to sever ties with Serafina immediately. A sweet new romance was literally calling my name. Then my phone buzzed. A video call from Serafina. I frowned, kept my face totally blank, hit do not disturb, and straight up ignored it. After it finally rang out, her text immediately popped up. "Where are you? When are you home?" I just acted like I never saw it. Realizing I was blowing her off, she actually dialed again. This time, totally cold, I powered my phone down completely. Then I ruthlessly blocked her number. Back in the greenhouse, Serafina's furious aura was so intense it felt like the glass walls might shatter. All she got was a red-blocked warning. "You and I know this means war," Veronica suddenly texted a video. "All right, you and I are diving right in." The camera caught the exact second Serafina blew up my phone, but I totally ignored it. Did not answer. Ignored the text completely. By her second call, looking super annoyed, I simply powered the device all the way down. Meanwhile, Serafina furiously smashed her phone right into the greenhouse glass. It shattered instantly. A sharp piece actually scratched her forehead, leaving a bright red mark, but the girl did not even flinch. Her heart was burning with pure fire, but for me, phone off the world felt so wonderfully peaceful. Diana totally heard the ringing and watched me shut it off, but politely stayed quiet. She was honestly just so amazing. Her polite boundaries made me feel truly valued. Dinner finished past 9. Diana offered a ride, and I happily agreed. "Thanks," she smiled. "You bought a great meal." "Driving you is the least I can do." I smiled brightly as she dropped me off, waving from the door. "Text me when safe, Diana." She teased, "Only if your phone is on." I just laughed awkwardly. I waited until her car vanished before heading inside, finally pulling out my phone to turn the power back on. But stepping inside, someone wildly snatched the device from my hand, tossing it in a perfect arc into the pond. Furious, I glared at her. "Are you crazy?" Serafina's icy eyes burned with intense fire. "Why even have a phone? You literally ignore my calls and never reply to texts. Watch closely as the drama peaks." I laughed coldly. "You are mad now. You ignored my messages for years. Now I do it, and you completely lose your mind. Let me be very clear. I will not answer you. I am not replying to texts. I am ignoring you. I just want to officially break up cleanly and spend my entire life with Diana." Instantly, Serafina's intense, scary aura exploded everywhere. "You really want to break up? You want another girl, Thomas? Keep dreaming. In this lifetime, do not ever think about walking away from me." Saying that, she aggressively dragged me straight upstairs. Auntie Martha watched from the kitchen, way too scared to intervene. She had never seen Serafina act so wild or our drama explode like this. Serafina angrily pulled me right into her room, forcefully pushing me onto the massive bed. Before I could even react, she totally pinned me down. I finally realized her crazy plan and opened my mouth in sheer panic. She came totally prepared. The second I tried to yell, she shoved a pine-scented handkerchief right into my mouth, silencing my words. She actually prepared a gag. She totally planned this. Not only that, she literally ripped my shirt tightly, tying my hands to the big headboard with an absolute master knot. I was losing my mind with anger. Then she aggressively kissed me. You and I both know this is wild. I struggled fiercely, but utterly defeated. I just closed my eyes and stopped moving. As she leaned in, she sensed something wrong. Her whole body froze as a tiny bit of actual logic finally returned. Seeing my face, a sudden pang hit her heart. She asked hoarsely, trying to soothe me, "Are you okay?" I glared back with pure, intense anger. Her heart twisted again. Instinctively, she covered my eyes with her soft hand, her voice whispering super gently into my ear. "Do not be scared. This time I will make absolutely sure you enjoy this too." Nobody could stop her wild demands. I was completely dragged along on her crazy emotional roller coaster all evening. That night, she was acting completely and utterly manic. Using a surprisingly gentle tone, she quietly whispered in my ear about our upcoming engagement party. "I am so sorry. I will make it up with a bigger one." As I finally drifted to sleep, a smile of pure defeat touched my lips. "No, you will not. I will never marry you. Ever." The next morning, I jolted awake, immediately locking eyes with Serafina. But today, her eyes actually held a weird trace of sweetness. She kissed my forehead. "Come eat breakfast with me." She happily pulled me downstairs while I just stared. She really changed. Meanwhile, Auntie Martha had just finished cooking tasty chicken stew. Seeing us arrive, she rushed to serve the food, eyes totally filled with worry. She had never seen Serafina act that unhinged before, but as the maid, no matter how bad she felt, she did not dare overstep to protect me. I just smiled softly to reassure her. "Thanks, Auntie Martha, I am totally starving." I grabbed the bowl and finished it in just a few huge gulps. Last night seriously drained way too much of my energy. Suddenly, Serafina handed me a brand new phone. "Blocking you was totally my fault. I will not do it again. From now on, you must answer my calls. Understand?" I just hummed quietly, not even bothering to argue back. Her eyes were currently filled with absolute tenderness. "So what do you and I make of this? If she showed this sweetness earlier, I wouldn't feel so trapped." Her breath brushed my ear. "Let's dive in. Was last night comfortable to appease this wild girl?" I gave a lazy yes. She gave a soft chuckle. "We will continue tonight." My body froze completely. I totally underestimated her yesterday. Who knew the high and mighty Serafina would use such sneaky tactics? Suddenly, her phone started ringing. She picked it up. "I know. I'll be right there. Have the vice president handle that trip. I'm super busy. I'll spend the next month just arranging things. She looked at me super affectionately. I want to get engaged. My hands tightened, but my expression stayed completely blank. She pressed a quick kiss on my cheek. Work came up. I'm leaving. I'll pick you up for dinner later tonight. I tried to speak, but she completely cut me off. No refusing. I clenched my fists tight. Fine. The smile on her stunning face grew even deeper. Once she finally walked away, I bet you and I both sighed in relief. Serafina's fake sweetness and that huge promise of an epic engagement party, nothing more than a massive, suffocating chain. She walked out feeling like a winner, absolutely convinced her total dominance last night had broken Thomas and permanently locked him by her side. But the very second her shadow vanished behind that door, his obedient little mask instantly shattered into pieces, replaced by an incredibly chilling cold stare. Did she honestly think a fancy party could fix a heart that had been drained empty for 7 whole years? No way. This engagement won't be her proudest moment. Instead, it's the ultimate stage for Thomas to light the match and completely destroy this toxic romance forever right in front of every single person watching. Trust me, the greatest escape we've ever seen has only just begun.